And now let us say hello to the number one contender in the UFC's heavyweight division. You know him very well. He's Le Predateur, Francis Ngannou, who's kind enough to join us right now from his home country in Cameroon. He's been there since June, doing a lot of great work over there. First off, Francis, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, Ariel. Always a pleasure.
What are you doing in
Always make,
Cameroon right now?
always make time for you.
I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. What are you doing in Cameroon?
Come on. Can you ask somebody what he's doing? He's doing home.
Well, I know you're with your family probably, but I know you had a gala last night, right?
What?
Didn't you have like a big gala for your foundation, a big event, a party or something?
No, that is on April. Yes, that is on August 29th.
Oh, okay. So
So
next week.
yeah. So we're gonna do like a local gala for like fundraising for the foundation because we are after the first gym that we built under the foundation. So now we are about to build the second one, and we want to finalize things to buy some equipment and some stuff for kids out there in the southwest region, exactly, Boyan. So yes, we're gonna do the gala event, which gonna have carry a lot of some few fight. Then the main event is me against this comedian guy who has been calling me out since
Oh,
this day after my last fight.
in a boxing match?
No, it's gonna be like MMA, but it's like that. It's an exhibition. So this guy is not a fighter. He's
Gotcha.
he's a comedian.
Okay. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
by the way, what is life like? Like, how's the virus over there in Cameroon?
Uh, in my opinion of what I have been seeing, things is very calm. Things is very quiet. And I mean, when I first came here, I was very nervous and stressful about it. But when I look around, it seems like it's way more under control out here. I don't know for which reason, but it seems like it's way more under control because I haven't like since I came here, I haven't known somebody who has a corona virus. But I knew some people who had it before, but since I came here, nobody.
Okay, that is great to hear. So obviously you've been in the news a lot this week. A lot of people talking about you coming off the title fight this past Saturday in Las Vegas. So Stipe Miocic beats Daniel Cormier, and afterwards Dana White says, "Yeah, we've seen what Jon Jones has been saying, but Francis is next." So number one for you, and I'm going to ask you about all the different levels of this story because there's a lot of different angles. First off, what did you think of Stipe's performance against Daniel Cormier?
His performance was very good. I mean, I saw him and I listened to his corner keep telling him, "Move, Stipe, move, move, move," and he kept moving and do a great job. And this is not for take any credit from Stipe, but I think Daniel Cormier wasn't like in that fight. Maybe because he has a eye block at some point, but I didn't see him like fully like he used to be. Yeah. So he seems like something was holding him back a little bit. Yeah. But uh overall, it was a great fight.
So would it be fair to say that you thought it was a great fight, but maybe you weren't so impressed with Stipe?
Maybe what?
You weren't very impressed with Stipe's performance? Like you weren't blown away by it?
Uh, I would not say impressed, but I would not underestimate his performance as well because he kept winning,
Yeah.
so and I lost against him one and I underestimate him once. So I had better don't underestimate anything from him by now. Uh, but yes, he was a great performance. Uh, I think he did what he used to do technically.
Mm. Do you think he is a lot better today than the guy that you fought 2.5 years ago? Do you think he has improved a lot since that fight?
Okay, so that is going to be difficult for me to answer that question because how can I know? Because at the end of the day, I lost that fight.
Hmm.
Uh, like if I would have win the fight, yes, I will be able to judge that. But like it's not something that on my standing point I can judge it. But since he deal with that fight, that means for me it was good that day.
By the way, what do you make of his new physique? He's a lot, slimmer these days. Not so much. Um, he hasn't lost a lot of weight, but he looks different, right? I mean, he just seems a lot, like just less. I don't know, less chunky, a lot more cut than he was when he fought you 2.5 years ago. Am I crazy, or do you agree with me?
I don't know, maybe it's his head cut, his shape and his mustache and everything. All those things has changed. So I don't know what exactly. Sometimes just the head cut can change somebody physique.
Sure. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Were you rooting for Stipe to win that fight because of the fact that you lost him and you want to get a rematch, or did you not care who won?
No, honestly, I wanted. Okay, so this was kind of like a dilemma. Uh, I thought DC is gonna win the fight, and DC is my guy. Also, I would like him to win. But at the meantime, I wanted to fight against Stipe for the title. So unless this DC won the fight and retire, my plan wasn't gonna work. So I was kind of like between two,
Hmm.
you know. But at the end of the day, uh, it was sad for DC, but I still get something which is very good, which is exactly probably what I wanted the most.
And before we get to that, I'm just curious, what did you think of the eye poke? DC poked him first, and then a more severe eye poke from Stipe to Daniel. Did you think that was just an accident, just part of the game, or do you think it was more than that?
I think it was an accident, but yes, the Stipe Ibrox, DC Ibrox was more severe,
Yeah.
very, very. Like at some point, oh, I didn't realize that before until maybe the end of the fight, but it was very bad.
Were you watching the fight live?
Yep, I was
Uh,
watching it
were
live.
you were you online on Twitter as well? Saturday night. Did you see Jon Jones's tweets in the middle and
Yes,
after the fight?
yes, and I replied of some of his tweets.
When you were seeing him tweet and saying what he was saying, was there a part of you that was like, "Oh man, here we go. Now they're gonna try to skip me for Jon Jones, or he's trying to cut the line"? What were you thinking when you saw him tweet like that?
Mm, I mean, I didn't think they're gonna skip me for Jon Jones because I've been waiting for a long time. But I know just saw Jon Jones trying to push something in so hard, you know. Yeah, but
Is there
I didn't think the UFC they are going to do that.
just a few minutes later at the press conference, Dana White said, "No, we're happy to have John at heavyweight, but next for Stipe is Francis." When you heard that, how did you feel?
I feel more confident about me getting the title shot next.
Are you 100% confident right now as we speak on this Friday morning that you are getting the next title shot?
Yes, 100% sure.
Why are you
I mean, even
100% sure?
before, huh?
Why 100% sure? Did someone tell you from the UFC? Did Dana White tell your management? Did any conversations happen since then?
Okay, you just say it, right? You said Dana White said it. So why wouldn't I be sure? So that means I have to doubt on it.
Well, you know how these things go. Sometimes someone says something and then they change their mind.
Uh, unless they have some good reason, which I'm not seeing anything around to help them change their mind.
You don't think Jon Jones, because on Monday he vacated the title and said, "I'm moving up." You don't think that that's a good enough reason?
No, I don't think so.
Um, have have you or your management talked to the UFC since Saturday about the fact that you are next, plans, anything of that nature?
Yep, my manager did it, and actually things went very well. So I have no concern about that.
When you say things went very well, what do you mean by that? Can you elaborate?
Things went very well.
Okay. Is
Is
there a
is
date?
that English? Is that English enough for you?
That's good English. That's very good English.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm still not sure about my English. I'm still
No, very
learning.
good. No, you're doing great. Is there a date attached to the fight or a time frame, a month?
Not yet. I'm expecting the end of this year. I mean, I hope at the end of this year, but I'm scared at the meantime. Stipe lately he has been taking a very long time after a fight. So I hope it's gonna be sometime this year. As I tweeted, I want it to be maybe the last minute pay-per-view of the year.
In
Yeah,
December. That would
yeah.
make sense because they have all their pay-per-views booked up until December. They have November booked already, so December would be the last one left. I'm wondering, Francis, have you watched your first fight against Stipe often?
I don't like to watch that fight because
Why?
when I watch that fight, I don't recognize the guy in the fight against Stipe. It wasn't me. Like uh, the type of rushing that I was rushing. I mean, like when I look my other fight, it's not like that, and you know, so I don't like to watch that. I just know in my mind what happened uh, that day, and I don't want it to happen.
When's the last time you watched it?
I watch some highlight of it sometime, but no watch the full fight.
Okay. And leading up to this rematch, I'm assuming you won't watch it.
I'm not planning to. I think
Okay.
my coach is gonna work on that. I mean, they've been working on that for very long. Eric Nixik is starting the fight since like few months ago.
Okay. Um, Obviously, we saw you several months ago in Jacksonville, and then all the stuff that happened with Jon Jones got us excited, but nothing ever materialized. From your perspective, were there ever any talks of you coming back before, either against Jon Jones or anyone else in the midst of the summer?
I mean, I don't know exactly what's gonna happen, but once again, I'm open for that idea. If it's about to happen, I'm open about it. But I don't have any control about that. I don't know how you think what's gonna happen. So I don't know
But
what to say. I
But
can't say more.
since your fight against Jairzinho, when all the stuff that happened with John and you and the like people going back and forth getting excited, were there ever any talks, May, June, July, August, of you coming back before either against John or someone else, or was it okay? Because the John stuff never really got momentum. I'm just wondering
Yeah.
if they offered you someone else, if they asked you if you wanted to stay busy, that sort of thing.
Mm-mm.
No, okay.
Never.
Okay. And so for you, you're just gonna hopefully wait. Obviously, you've fought, a lot over the last year or so, but your fights are very short, right? Is there any concern about that from your
I didn't
conditioning?
fight a lot. What are you talking about? I
Well,
fought once in like 15 months. I
yeah,
fought once, so which is not a lot.
fair enough. Yes. I guess I'll say 4 times since the Derrick Lewis fight, right? So 4 times in 2 years is not very good.
Yeah.
And short fights. So you're frustrated. You want to get back in there. You want to work again.
I try to let him go. I can just get frustrated of what I can control, things that I cannot control. I try to let him go. Otherwise, it's just gonna screw up my mind and mess up with my life, mess up with my nerves, which is something that I don't want. So I'm very cool trying to let things happen because lately I wanted so bad to get back to action. It didn't happen. So at some point, I understand that it's better to like just let it what's happen happen.
Mm. Because the last time we spoke, you were frustrated. I remember, like you were
Yeah,
upset. You remember?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
over.
I was. Yes, I was, but now no, that's over because I mean, I make my peace with it. I understand like how it was. I don't want to like fighting or these things uh mess up with my life. I have a life besides that. My life is not just about fighting, so I can also think about something else. I'll take my time and then let's let it roll.
Mm. There was a little bit of talk of you and Dillian White and even Eddie Hearn scheduled a press conference, but I think it never really happened. What was that all about?
He was in a press conference.
He put out a press release that you guys were going to do a virtual press conference. Did you see this?
No, I mean, yes, I saw that, but my manager told me that Eddie Hearn wanted to interview me, uh, and I agree with that. And I think 2 days after, and he asked if he can also have Dylan White on date. Like, okay, so I was already engaged. Then I'm like, okay, what is the purpose? They say no, just to talk, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, I don't have I don't have anything against that, but if it's just to talk and interview, you know, because when I said that, when I was very little bit when I was holding back, they trying to prove me that they used to do stuff like that with three people, like they did it with Michael Bisping, uh, with this guy. Yeah, they give me some example. Darren still,
Hmm.
Darren still.
Darren
They
Till,
give me
yeah.
some couple example. Yes, then I'm like, okay, so that means there is not a problem if it's used to happen.
Okay. And what about you and Ryan Garcia? I like seeing those videos of you guys working out together. How did that come together?
Well, we have a common friend. I mean, my manager and Ryan Garcia know each other for a very long time, and then we went. I went to California, and he asked me to go there. So we went there and do the body shot challenge.
How much do those hurt? Come on. I mean, I know you're a strong guy, but that has to hurt, right?
Uh,
Come on.
not really. I
Not at
mean,
all?
I I feel I feel a lot of power for his weight, but you know, I used to do like body shot challenge without the shield and stuff like that. So like from Ryan Garcia being, I think he's a weight, plus the shield. I mean, he's a heavy hitter, but no as much to get me on some on the pin.
Even the flyweight. Also, I saw the flyweight at your gym in Vegas, Extreme Couture. He was doing it to you. Also, everyone's doing it to you. What about me? What do you
uh,
think would happen if I punched you in the stomach, Francis? What do
oh, oh, don't worry about it.
you?
I'm sure my mom can hit so hard than
I'm sure as well. I'm sure as
you.
well. You know who's someone who
I'm
hits hard?
joking.
No, no. I listen. I believe you. The Rock. You and the Rock, buddies. You're gonna work out with him. That would be incredible. What a partnership that
Yes,
would be.
yes, yes, definitely. He told me that we are waiting for the a new D-Rock project here, who is coming out in December, so in September. So he's gonna ship someone to me, take my, they ask for my address and everything, and then the workout, everything. We're gonna roll together.
I love it.
So
Are you a big fan of the Rock?
uh, crazy,
You love him.
crazy fan of D-Rock. I mean, I never been a real wrestling fan, but as a movie fan, I love The Rock. He's the King Scorpion, um, and then on top of that, I don't know, like the way he's carry himself as a person, his life, like when you follow how he treat his family, his daughter, everything, like this. I mean, it's a full success on everywhere on his life, and that's like what how what, why I'm more a fan of Dira, you know.
I love it. Yes, there's a lot to be a fan of his for. So just curious, if this fight happens, let's say in December, will you train in Cameroon for it, or are you going to come back
No,
home
no,
to
no,
Vegas?
no,
Okay.
no. Back in Vegas.
Okay.
Back in Vegas.
And so in your mind, can you tell us, how do you see it? Because you say you don't like to watch the first fight. It bothers you. It's not the same guy. How do you see this one playing out, the rematch with you and Stipe, in your mind?
Well, I've seen it play out differently. Like first of all, I was just trying to calm down my pressure. I'm taking easy, you know. I will not walk in just to knock him out or to finish the fight as soon as possible. I'll just let him go and see what's happened. You know, as long as I'm on the control of myself and stay composed, that's all what I need.
Okay. So these are the lessons that you learned from the first fight, from the first experience.
Yep.
Now, after your win over Jairzinho, a lot of people were like, he was sloppy. It wasn't all that impressive. A lot of people were critical of you. Did you hear this critique? And if so, what do you make of it?
I don't care about it. Before that wasn't my first fight. I had some fight, and when he goes well, I mean, and you have to understand this is the business. When something happens in some fight, people get focused on that one and forget everything, every other thing. You know, yeah. Before the fight before Jairzinho, the fight against GTS. What does people? What is people? Did people say against Ken Velasquez? What he was lobby? You know, people can say whatever they want, and also there's a lot of critical people and uh, people would I would say I would say haters as well because someone is critical like for a good way. I don't take critic like a hate, but someone hater just take opportunity like this to jump on you, want to say what they say, want to get in your mind, and I don't all that.
Just curious, before I let you go, how do you think Jon will do as a heavyweight?
Everybody knows Jones will do well everywhere that he goes. There is not a doubt about it. Like his fight IQ, his experience, and everything. I mean, Jones for all day, he's a heavyweight. Like he has to seriously cut weight to make it like heavyweight. From what I heard. So yes, his light, his fast, his technical, everything. So yeah, I think I think heavyweight might be even easier for Jon Jones than like
Why?
because obviously in heavyweight they hit harder, but it's not the same technique. It's not the same fight IQ. It's
Hmm.
kind of a little bit different.
Interesting. If it were up to you, if he'd say, "Hey, Francis, give me some advice. Should I just wait for the winner of Francis Stipe, or should I fight a contender, and then if that goes well, then fight for the belt? Like, should I get one heavyweight fight in, or should I just wait for the championship fight?"
But it's not up to me.
If he was asking you your opinion, what would you say?
Then I would think about it.
Probably for you, it'd be better if he waits, right?
Yeah, advice is a personal opinion. Advice is not what is right. So there is no wrong decision. There is no right decision right here.
Okay.
So I think it's up of the person's feelings. How did it feel? What did it want exactly? I think that's the most important thing.
If you beat Stipe and they say, who do you want your first title defense to be against? We'll offer you Jon Jones or Derrick Lewis. Who do you take?
Uh, I mean, if they ask me which would I want to,
Yeah.
uh, I think I have an undone business with Derrick Lewis.
Hmm.
That fight never happened, in my opinion, and it's supposed to happen. And I think this time is going to be different, very different. Believe me. Like I don't give a fuck about what's going to happen there, but it's going to be different. like for real. But thinking about it, the fight against, I think the fight against Jon Jones will make more sense because, like, I'm not sure I'm really in a position to talk about that fight against Derrick Lewis because people don't want to hear about it. You know, it seems like a nightmare again. So, like, no. But at some point it's gonna happen, and when it's gonna happen, it's gonna be different, you know.
Well, there's some.
So I think for overall, I would take the Jon Jones one
Okay.
because it's a better matchup, it's a better fight, and then it's gonna be more lucrative, right?
Right. Yeah, perhaps.
Of course. Yeah.
Last thing for you, Mike Tyson, you and him have developed a nice relationship. Will you help him prepare for his comeback fight against Roy Jones?
I wanted to, but I wasn't in the US, and I don't know when I will be back in Vegas. Then we will see what's possible.
Do you like the idea of him coming back?
It's up to him. It's how he feels. You know, like I mean, he's somebody who grew up in the ring. So, like, staying back and be a spectator for a very long time. Like this, sometimes he just want this feeling. So, like, you know, this thing, it will make him be alive. So I might don't like it, but I think he knows what he's doing.
Well, I have to say, Francis, I'm very excited about this. I'm very happy for you because I will admit I was worried that they were going to leapfrog you, that they were going to tell you to sit aside. And not to say that Jon Jones doesn't deserve to fight for a title. If this was a different circumstance, he has certainly earned the opportunity to fight for the heavyweight title. But you have done so much and you have been so impressive since the Derrick Lewis fight with those 4 knockouts. I know it feels like it's been an eternity. I was very worried that they were going to skip over you, Francis. So I'm happy to hear that you're confident, that you've had good conversations, your management has had good conversations, and this is happening because I feel like, number one, the fight will play out a little differently, and number two, you deserve it. And it's good to see people who deserve big fights, title fights, get what they deserve. So, felicitations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ariel. I appreciate it.
Thank you, as always, for the time, and good luck with your gala and your big fight against the comedian next week.
Thank you. By the way, about the gala, we're going to post a link to promote it for some people who want to donate. Please don't forget to come to the link and donate whatever you can donate.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.